When I started making beats, I didn't really know what I was doing. Probably like most of you. But I knew how to play music and I knew how to write music. Everything started around 2011. I don't really remember the exact date when I started making music. My very first musical instrument was the guitar. And this guitar, exactly this acoustic guitar I had in my house. I knew it was laying somewhere. It's really dusty right now because I haven't been playing it for quite some time. And I knew we have this guitar somewhere at home because it used to belong to my uncle who died a long time ago, about 2005. And he was a wedding musician. And he was also playing guitar. My older brother, who is 7 years older than me, used to play his electric guitar. So I thought I'll just start from this thing. He taught me how to play some basic chords, some basic songs, you know, everything that I needed as a beginner. And he wasn't like a great guitar player in that time. He knew the basics and he taught me the basics. And after that I started learning more chords and more. And you know, I could play a lot of songs with chords only. But I was thinking, those guitar players I saw everywhere were just doodling on these guitars. They were playing melodies, they were playing arpeggios. I didn't even know what arpeggios were by that time. But they were doing some crazy stuff in general that people loved. There's a lot of songs that are based on the same 4 or 5 chords. But for me, the melody is always the thing that makes you remember the song, that you just know what it is. So after about a year of playing acoustic, I thought, I need an electric guitar, like for real. And here is my very first electric guitar, which is in the SG shape. If any one of you have been interested in guitars, you should know this shape. And you should also know that this shape was originally produced by the company named Gibson. And this guitar is named Tennyson, really originally. But it was a decent guitar, the quality was pretty good and it's still usable after all these years. It's 8 years old now and it's just in almost perfect shape. I started to dig more into lots of popular guitarists. I was listening to Black Sabbath, I was listening to lots of old school heavy metal music. Then I went through all this aggressive death metal, then deathcore stuff, you know, growling and anger and everything at the same time. In the meantime, I started playing bass and then the drums in 2013, and the person I wanted to become was a multi-instrumentalist. That's just a one-man band, so I could record everything like a full band, but this is all done by myself. I wasn't that kind of metalhead that would, you know, go to live shows every week or every 2 weeks and bang his head in front of the band. No, I was listening to music at home. I was spending most of my time in my home studio, in my room with, you know, computer and some basic speakers, my first audio interface, and I was just playing the guitar, recording a bunch of demos, that kind of stuff. I haven't really achieved anything like musically in that time, but I was learning every day. This was like, I was focused only on the guitar, on the recording, on the audio world, everything connected with that. And in 2016, my friend asked me if his friend can record something in my home studio, because he knew that I'm doing recording and that kind of stuff. So I said, yeah, okay, why not? And that was my first time recording rap vocals. I've been familiar with rap music because before I started listening to rock and metal, I was into like everything from techno through rap to punk rock. I even had some rap favorites, but hip-hop and the culture wasn't even a thing for me in that time. I was like 11, 12 years old. If something was cool, I was just listening to it. That's it. So I've recorded this guy, I've made some basic mix, and that's all. He gave me like 10 Polish zloty, which is an equivalent of $2.50 for this like hour and a half of recording. But I was like, whoa, I've recorded a rapper and I've recorded someone else than me. And that was a kind of achievement for me because that wasn't the usual thing I was doing. And that's how it all began. I thought, I want to try making a beat. I didn't really knew what I was about to do, but I just thought, what is a hip-hop beat? This is a rhythm like boom boom ch, boom boom ch, and there is some pianos or anything on the top of it, just some cool sounds. I found some samples, I found some free VST instruments and free VST synthesizers, and I've made my first beat ever. Unfortunately, I don't have it, but I have some older beats of mine on my SoundCloud, so just take a quick listen. Even after those 4 years, as I listen to it, I don't feel like it's disgusting. It's how could I just make something like that? I'm actually satisfied how it sounded like back then. And you know, I was feeling much more free in terms of making music back then, especially making beats, because I've treated myself like a newbie, like I don't know what I'm doing. Now, as I feel like, you know, people see me more professionally, because that's the way I live. I'm just always aiming for something, like I am making a hard trap beat today. And I just have to get rid of this mindset, you know? I miss playing with music, not like aiming for a certain effect and getting angry at myself when something just doesn't work like I wanted to. So eventually I started to work with more people, more rappers from my high school, and I started making more beats. Me and a friend from my class, shout out to you. I don't want to mention you because I don't want if you want to be mentioned, but we've made a viral song. He made a viral song because I was only the guy who was mixing and mastering it and recording the whole thing. But the beat was something from YouTube, but everyone thought that I am the producer, you know, that I did all of this. I wasn't hiding that I didn't produce this beat, but everyone was, you know, gossiping like, oh, they made that song, oh, and he just did all this tweaking and technical stuff. And that was the first time I felt like I am known for something. And as the high school was the everyday community I was living in, I just felt like, mother of God, I am a music producer. Oh yeah. I also did the video for the whole thing. And you know, I just felt appreciated by some other people. And as I was making metal and publishing videos on my old channel, it was like, you know, some people were supporting it, but not really. So the first thing I noticed, rap is much more popular than metal. And you can't disagree right now. Rap is one of the most popular music genres in the world. Heavy metal is popular too, but rap and hip-hop culture is everywhere. Hip-hop streetwear, hip-hop art is everywhere too. You can see those influences in most of the countries in the world. And this friend introduced me to Machine Gun Kelly and Waka Flocka. In that time I got Wild Boy on repeat, and I was super fascinated with those trap beats, with this trap culture in general, because trap culture, if we can name it like that, is a part of the hip-hop culture. It came from it. So I was super hyped up about making some more beats, experimenting with some more samples, some more sounds, you know. I was like, I discovered something new, which existed, but I wasn't interested in that kind of things. I've already had a MIDI controller, I've already had an interface, everything needed for making music. So it was only a matter of learning new things. In 2017, another friend introduced me to the underground scene of the USA, to Suicide Boys, then to Bones, then I discovered Ghostman, then all these guys that are pretty well known today. That was the moment I found rappers who came from a metal environment, let's say. Their music was more aggressive. I'm talking especially about Suicide Boys, Ghostman, Bones, people who actually have been influenced by metal music like I was, and they were making rap music only, in their own way. So that was like a second blow in my head after the year of listening to rap music. And I've instantly got hooked with this underground scene, and I started listening to them like crazy. This became the main music I was listening to. For the whole time, I was making metal music and I was making beats, hip-hop, rap, that kind of stuff. Like two different things. And that's where things started to get difficult, because I didn't really knew what I want to do. Should I go with the beats or should I stay with the metal? Because I don't have enough time to be a metalhead and, record some metal tracks, metal albums, and be a beat maker, a music producer, and have my own career. I knew I have to choose something if I want to treat it seriously. So I went with the beats. I was making lots of beats and everything was going fine, but I kinda missed playing the guitar and metal. And after a few months, I was like, I need to just do something about it. So I started recording some guitars here and there and making trap beats with them, and it was pretty okay. I've also started writing my own lyrics, trying to record some songs, and for a year I was like experimenting with my voice. I was learning how to rap. I was practicing the diction. Sometimes I was making beats, but I wasn't online music producer who was selling beats. I was thinking about it, but I didn't really do it. The end of 2017, the whole 2018, 2019 were a pretty tough years for me, where I was just looking for myself and trying to understand myself, trying to understand everything what happened in my life and where I want to go. Not only musically, even though it's a huge part of my life, but as a person, who am I? I think lots of us asked that question to ourselves, and it's usually not easy to answer like instantly. In 2019 I got back to making beats like on a regular basis. I started to produce again, and I was aiming to turn it into a business at some point. So I was just preparing everything, like with videos, I was thinking about BeatStars, but I still had that mindset that I can be a metalhead or I can be a music producer, a hip-hop maker. And as I look at my older vlogs, like from the last holiday, not this year, but from 2019, I look at myself, but most importantly, I look at myself, how I behaved. And what I saw is that I was so uncertain of what I'm doing, of who I am, of what is going on with me in that particular moment in life. Until the end of the last year of 2018, I was like, I am a metalhead, but I am making beats, and people see a metalhead making beats. What would they think? They would think that I am not real. The hip-hop community won't like me because this is a metalhead. He can't be a part of a hip-hop community. That was my mindset, guys, and it was a horrible mindset. Horrible mindset. I thought I need to change myself, like 100% of myself, to become a part of this community. And then I realized I haven't really been a part of a metal community too, because I wasn't in the community. I was only listening to this music, and I was playing the guitar and making that kind of music, but I didn't really feel like a metalhead that, I'll say it. I have to bang my head under the scene and, mosh pit. Oh God, Slayer! As I was a metalhead, I felt like it is a shame to listen to other types of music, because the metal community in my eyes was like, you have to be 100% a metalhead or you can't be a metalhead. So here we are, the end of 2020, it's 15th of November today, and I am not a metalhead, and I am not a hip-hop head. My name is Dominic, and this is wodzubeats, and this is my world, and this is a combination of everything. So if I want to make a trap beat with heavy metal guitars, I will do it. If I want to make a super spacey, crazy trap beat with some crazy hi-hat rolls, I will just do it. If I want to make an old school hip-hop beat, like, you know, gangsta type of stuff, I will just do it. And I don't have to be a super metalhead that listens to metal to make metal and metal related music. I've always loved combining music genres together. I've always loved to test things out, you know, how this will sound with that. So my conclusion and my tip for all of you who are watching this video right now, don't change yourself and don't try to just, you know, fit into the community standards, into the subculture standards. Be yourself, and maybe you will create a whole new subculture. And that's what I wish to you and to myself. Whew. And that's all, guys. I hope you're having a good evening or a good afternoon, I don't know when you are watching this, but stay on the wave, stay tuned for new videos, for new tutorials and for new cookups. New studio tour this Friday. As you can see, the studio is not as it used to be. And yeah, that's it. Keep the good vibes alive.